Hello, what's going on, guys? Brasus here, hopefully with a working microphone. New environment, as you can see. And today we are back with some lists for new armies. There are 4 armies left, and I think I will be bulk recording them all now. Unfortunately, I didn't manage to have my recording back for this week, but for the next week, well, for you, this will be this week. It's a very interesting theoretical question that we'll leave for now. But let's go to Undying Dynasties. And here, I've actually played a few games with the list, and I will try to reconstruct it a bit, but maybe I will change something. Let's see. So for me, the most important thing, well, maybe not the most important thing, but the thing that I want for sure is 5 cataphracts, because I like them very much. For now, let's stick with full command, but I don't know if I can hold it. Hopefully, yes. And I want Sandstalkers. I played 2 times 3. Maybe I will have to. For now, let's pick just 1 times 4 with Underground Ambush, but maybe this will be reduced to 3 with Underground Ambush. I think they are nice, but I think that the version without Ambush just sucks. I know it's much cheaper, but I think that this is just a huge difference. Like I know that you can probably take 6 without Underground Ambush instead of 4 with Underground Ambush, but I think it just matters too much. The fact that you can position them anywhere you want is really important in my opinion. And I actually very much liked my setup for the heroes. I like the Wizard Master of Evocation with Sacred Hourglass and with Ankh. I think Sacred Hourglass works really well with Evocation, even with increased castings. And Ankh is kind of necessary because you want this guy to be your Hierophant, because Evocation has lots of nice buffs, and the 6-up region is just a buff, is just a plus, I guess. I want a second mage, which is an Adept of Cosmology with, unsurprisingly, Book of Arcane Mastery. I think it's a very nice magic setup. Possibly I was considering taking Casket, but I think Casket just has some issues with fitting in the section. For sure I want a Tomb Architect. I don't want any fancy schmancy setups with Terracotta or with the Barrow Legion, which obviously is unplayable, but many people play Terracotta actually. They don't want Terracotta because I want my army to heal. If I wanted to play a non-healing army, I would play anything else and not Undying Dynasties. I want to have Essence of Mithril on this guy, and I want to have the Scourge of Kings, because I think that this guy is actually interesting in this setup, and possibly let's be really expensive and let's give him Lucky Charm, because this guy I think is interesting with 2-up save, with 5-up ward, with 2-up save potential 5-up region from him, with 1 reroll, and with 10 attacks from the model with Stomp. I think it's really good, and also he's an architect, so after all he's really cool. Okay, and now I have a problem because I used to run a Pharaoh here, but I'm not so sure whether he is suitable. So let's stick to core for now. I definitely want to have. Okay, and I want to have an ambush unit. I want to have 1 scouts in core, as far as I remember. I want to have 1 ambush unit, I think, in core, which will be archers, surprisingly, because they are cheaper than the skeletons. They are most often, I think, I want to use them as chaff anyway, and when they go into the scenarios, they don't really matter that much, and maybe those pot shots can sometimes help. I want, okay, and now the question is whether I want the Pharaoh, right? Because what I would build my Pharaoh around is with just what? With just Godslayer, right? So let's check him out, and you can decide whether this makes sense. I definitely want just Destiny Call, and then Close Combat Weapon, Great Weapon, and Godslayer. So this is a very interesting setup in my opinion. He's on horse. All good. And now you can buy him, okay, either Blessed Wrappings, which is okay-ish, or Dragonfire Gem, which is probably the best. He's 415. Okay, and then Then I can possibly get a Nomarch general with a Crown of the Pharaoh. Okay, and I will have additional 20 points for this. Man, let's stick with this for now, because this was the concept that I had when I want to have 2 units basically that are fighty, kind of like cataphracts. I want to have skeletons in core, and I want to have a small cavalry unit that will help the load a bit. So let's stick to this, and I want to have a bunker for my mages, and let's give them musician for now, but possibly I want something more. Let's take 17, so with 3 heroes it is actually 20. And then let's see how many skeletons can I fit here without any banner, because I am cheap and I cannot afford to have a banner on them. Okay, and actually this is not that bad. I think I want something like 44 because I want to have a bit more skeleton cavalry. And let's see, this is an issue. Fitting extra, okay, fitting extra is actually an issue. If I take 42, then can I have, okay, this is basically, yeah. So 1 point not enough, it's pretty bad. But I have 14 skeleton cavalry already, and I have nothing, so if I delete 1 more skeleton, I can just take a champion on my archers. This is 41 skeletons only. It's a bit lowish. I'm not really a fan, but I don't know. I think this might be enough for now. So let's stick to this core and let's see what I can do with the... Okay, and I have only 600 points left. And the problem is that I don't really want to have any sort of, you know, giants or... Like, Colossus is probably okay. Colossus is probably okay. I don't want Sphinxes. Maybe the spam of Sphinxes is nice, but I don't want Sphinxes. I probably want catapults. And you already see why I cannot fit the casket, because I think this Pharaoh is nice. And I cannot fit the casket because casket is in heroes. If casket was in special, then I could and I very likely would take the casket here. But unfortunately it's not. Scorpions makes no sense. And now the question is whether I have enough combat power to afford not taking, because what I probably would love the most to have a catapult and then possibly a giant with a bow, but then I cannot have stalkers. I would need to restrict my stalkers to 3 and then take Colossus with a bow. Okay, and this looks this is a nice number, but I'm not sold on whether this is appropriate. What do I do with the points if I take another catapult instead of Colossus? Because I think this is the alternative. So what do okay, I cannot take Tomb Reapers. You have really nothing more to take in the special section. I would kind of need to take how many, 50 something points. So I cannot afford a second cataphract unit plus a catapult, which is a shame. I would need like a banner on the cataphracts now, because I cannot fit extra cataphract. I cannot fit anything more in heroes. I could just add more skeletons. Then I will have too much in core. But with more skeletons, this is probably very visible. How many points too much if okay, I have 40 points too much. Can I actually get rid of something to fit those 40 points? Well, I would need to take Dragonfire Gem, Lucky Charm, and then 1 command piece from Top Cataphracts, which is probably a standard bearer. Yikes. And the alternative is to just pop more skeletons in and pray that three stalkers is enough, and then I feel like I don't have enough range damage. This is my problem with this list in general, but I have the Aspen Bow. The Aspen Bow really sucks. It's kind of a problem. The Aspen Bow really does nothing. How many extra skeletons? This is 8 points per model. This is 56, so it's 7 extra skeletons. Oh well. Oh well. I'm not happy about this. Let's take a look at this list in general. I'm happy about the magic setup. I think the hero setup is really cool. You have two heroes that are really interesting. You have a strong block, kind of a strong block, a support block, some shooting, and a support piece. I don't know. I feel like Undying Dynasties are a bit below the curve, but I kind of like playing with this list, although I felt like I don't have maybe enough board control, so probably taking Colossus out and taking second Catapult and then taking one more Chaff piece and then taking 4 Sunstalkers is also a viable option. Will I have enough close combat then? How much is any kind of special chaff? Vultures 155. I could also just take Scarab Swarms instead of Colossus and pump them to the max number. Then I am not threatened by cannons. And I can take the second Catapult possibly. Let's actually go for that and let's see where this leads me. I don't think that I can take 6, but maybe I can take 5. And then Catapult. I can actually take 6. So isn't this better? Let's take a look. I have 2 Catapults done, I have Scarab Swarms. I don't have anything that is threatened by cannons. I have less skeletons, but that... Okay, this actually looks a bit more rounded up. I would love to have more Stalkers, but I don't know. Yeah, I think this is okay. I think this is actually interesting. It's an interesting exchange. The double Catapult really seems to suit the meta pretty well, in my opinion. Especially with Evocation. If you have a single Catapult, then it's not really worth it to take -1 toughness, but with double Catapult, then maybe it's not that bad. Yeah, I think this is sensible. Okay, I am kind of happy with this list right now. It looks better than the one with the Colossus, to be honest. Yeah, I'm happy about this. Okay, hope you guys enjoyed this. If you have any comments regarding the Undying Dynasties in general, or this list in particular, which would be more interesting for me, to be fair, feel free to let me know, and see you in the next episode. Cheers.